Hey, welcome everybody back to the West Georgia Gridiron podcast. This is actually a pretty special night. We're here at Buffalo Wild Wings in Carrollton, Georgia. They've been so gracious to be able to host this for us tonight, Mason. This is a special state playoffs kickoff show and also community team spirit night. We have 9 teams. All 9 teams in the West Georgia region made it into the playoffs, and so we're going to be interviewing those players, some of their coaches. We're going to get some of the position coaches, players. So the brackets just came out, right, Mason? So we should know who everybody's going to be playing in the first round. We wish all the luck to everyone that's going to be involved, but you'll be hearing from some of those coaches and players here shortly, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to the West Georgia Gridiron podcast. I'm your host, Mason Taylor, as always, and tonight we're here at Buffalo Wild Wings for our playoff preview and team spirit night. First, we're going to be joined by the Bowden Red Devils, coming into this one 8-2, coming off of a great win at Tryon, pretty dominant win, 63-0. Obviously, going for a four-peat here. Just won, I believe, your 21st region championship. Coach, first question for you. You had a tough early schedule. Obviously, week 1 had to go on the road to Fellowship Christian. Ended up having to go on the road to Heard County as well. So, really, how have those games, especially in non-region play, how has that kind of helped shape your identity?
Well, we front load our schedule every year. I believe that's how you build a championship team. It's actually got me a little nervous about these power rankings we're going to be on next year because I like to schedule the hardest 5 teams that we can find in the bigger classification schools. You mentioned Fellowship Christian and Heard County. They're combined 19-1 right now. So we went out and played the best to compare us for game 9, 10, 11. And I told somebody this the other day, from week 1 to week 10, this football team that we're coaching this year might have made the biggest improvement, the biggest growth any football team I've been a part of. So we're playing our best football. We're generating those tough games up front.
With all the success your program's had, how do you keep your players hungry and grounded at this point in the season?
We tell them in January, that was last year's team, anything that was accomplished by the team before you. We've got a motto to 3-week team goals for the season, and those are the goals that we're out to attain. This year's group, they've already left it better than they found it by winning the region championship. We did not win it last year. We were the 2 seed coming out. And if they can win 3 more football games, they'll be winning this senior class in the history of Bowden. 3 classes before. That's an incredible feat.
Yes, sir. Now I'm going to have some questions for you guys. Either of you can answer, both of you, whatever. You guys have been in a special run. Obviously, your coach just talked about it. Very special run, especially for you seniors. Obviously, have a chance to win a state championship every year of high school. So what is it like trying to carry on that tradition of winning a state championship?
I think a lot of it's got to do with, the teams that did it before us. We looked up to those guys. We wanted to be them guys. And now, we have a chance to go be them guys. So it's just going out there every day and just working your tail off of practice, pushing yourself, pushing your teammates. And if you do that, I feel like we can go do whatever we need to do to win this thing.
After those early games, mainly those non-region games, how did this team really regroup and get right back on track for another region title?
I feel like the first game, Fellowship and Heard County, I feel like when we lost to Fellowship, we realized we got work to do. We went out, won the next couple games, went and played Heard County. And when we played Heard County, we realized, all right, we gotta come together, bond as a team. And I feel like we've done that. We just got to keep building on that as the playoffs go.
Speaking of the playoffs, obviously this is the playoff show. So what do you think the energy is going to be like at practice this week and next week as y'all get prepared for Wilcox County?
I think it just cranks up to a whole nother level. It's win or go home at this point. So we know that. Everyone knows that. It's just going out there. You get 4 days of practice, and you got to do what you got to do with it. Give yourself the best chance to win.
Again, a very successful senior class. Obviously, how do you describe kind of this brotherhood and the chemistry that is the Bowden Red Devils?
I feel like when we came in as freshmen, we had not won anything up to that point other than region championships. But I feel like whenever we came in, we saw what the senior class that year did, and we just carried on what they did. We just loved each other, and we took each other in as family. Like even the transfers, like Charles and Josh, we took them in under our wing, and just they go as we go.
Every team always talks about having unfinished business, especially as we start getting into the playoffs. Kind of what is the motivation for you guys, especially going into the postseason?
I think a lot of it's got to do with we've been in 2 real big games this year, and we haven't been able to win either one of them. So, the big games are coming up, and we want to prove everyone wrong that's doubted us this year.
Last question for you guys. What's your message to Red Devil fans as the playoffs get underway here?
Job's not finished.
Show up and show out.
All right, appreciate it. Head coach Richard Finley, obviously John Harden, Jackson Jones, thank you for being here tonight. Best of luck as the Bowden Red Devils get ready to host the Wilcox County Patriots. I believe November 14th is the date. Hopefully y'all can four-peat. I'm really rooting for you. If y'all make it to the state championship, I'll definitely be there. But go Red Devils, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Next up, we're talking about a program that has been a model of consistency in West Georgia, the Bremen Blue Devils. They come into the Class 1A Division I state playoffs with a 5-5 record, and this marks their 12th straight playoff appearance, an incredible streak that speaks to the strength and stability of their program, led by head coach Davis Russell, who's now in his 10th season at Bremen with a record of 71-44. The Blue Devils have once again battled through one of the toughest regions in the state. They picked up big wins this year over Jordan, McNair, Model, Temple, and capped off the regular season with a strong performance on the road against Arlington. This week, Bremen faces a familiar foe in the Pepperell Dragons. And, if you know anything about this is a historic meeting. This will be, I believe, the 11th meeting all time between these two programs, Pepperell holding a slight edge in that series. The Blue Devils are going to trying to make a statement in the postseason, chase the school's first state championship. But obviously, Bremen is not here tonight, but obviously, we wish them the best of luck. Hopefully, they can beat Bremen. It was only an 11-point game last time these two played. So, obviously, Bremen has a very good chance of winning this game. Unfortunately, this time it will be on the road. But for the Bremen Blue Devils, trying to make a run in state, something they haven't done in a while. Obviously, they've been making state, obviously, like I just said, pretty consistently 12 years in a row. But can they get past the first and second round? That's the question. Obviously, they play in the power rankings of Class 1A Division I, so we'll see how they do. Again, we wish the best of luck to the Bremen Blue Devils. Unfortunately, they couldn't be here tonight, but go Blue Devils, and we'll see how they do against Pepperell on Friday, November the 14th. If you're a Bremen community member or some way connected to the Bremen Blue Devils, make sure to go out and support your team. But with that being said, go Blue Devils, and we hope y'all do great in the first round. Up next, we got one of the premier programs in the entire state, my Carrollton Trojans. They entered the Class 6A state playoffs with a perfect 10-0 record, marking the 15th undefeated regular season in school history and the 3rd under head coach Joey King. Coach King, now in his 5th season leading the Trojans, holds an incredible 61-6 record with 4 region championships and 2 state championship appearances during his tenure. The Trojans coming off another dominant season highlighted by a statement wins over Woodward Academy, Rome, Gainesville, and Douglas County, all playoff caliber programs. You could even say state championship caliber programs. Carrollton just secured its 4th straight region title and the 35th in school history, and this will be their 11th consecutive trip to the postseason. The Trojans are looking to add another chapter to their storied legacy as they chase their 8th state championship, their first since 1998. In the opening round, they will be taking on the North Forsyth Raiders, a first ever meeting between the two. We'll start off with you, Coach Masters. Another undefeated regular season. What's been the key to keeping this program performing at such a consistent elite level?
Well, I think Coach King does a really good job of setting the tone for what the culture of the program is going to be. And so you're not really chasing each team each year. There's a standard from the time you get into middle school all the way up of what the expectations are. So the players are going to change, and how we operate as far as where we plug and play the players may look a little different, but the standard and what the expectations are of how we work, how we play together, and how we go about it is going to be the same. I'd say that's the first thing. And the second thing specific to this year is the group of guys that we have on the roster. We've got a really unique makeup of guys that really enjoy playing football, and they really enjoy playing it at Carrollton. And so the chemistry and the group that we have has been really fun for the coach.
Yeah, my next question is actually going to have to do with the personnel. An outstanding senior class, obviously at the most winningest regular season senior class in the entire history of Carrollton football. How has this year's leaders really helped set the tone for the rest of the team?
I think they've done a really good job. If you look at the makeup of our team, we've got a lot of seniors playing, and then we've got a lot of young guys that are playing also. And so the blend of it has been really unique. There's two qualities that this senior class has that I really respect. The first one is their ability to be unselfish. There's a lot of guys that are in this senior class that it's their first year starting, that have waited for their opportunity. And in this day and age, a lot of guys don't have the patience to do that. And guys have stuck it out and developed and are seeing the benefits of it now as they're seniors. The second thing is our senior group has an invested interest in the guys that are next to them. So we have senior receivers that are mentoring sophomore receivers. We have senior linebackers that are mentoring freshmen and sophomores. Same thing on the offensive line. Everybody wants to improve personally, but we also understand that we get evaluated as a group, and this senior class gets that. And that's been fun to see.
We've had a tough schedule, especially non-region play. Obviously, Rome, Gainesville, obviously region play, had to take on Douglas County just this past Friday. How have those challenges prepared you for playoff football?
Yeah, Coach King talks about it all the time. We want the challenges because those are the things that are going to sharpen you and make you better. And at this point in the year, we talked about it today with our guys. It only gets hard from here. The groups that we're going to play and the pressure that's on. And fortunately for us, our schedule sets up where we've been in those moments before and we know how to respond. So hopefully it serves as a benefit.
After back-to-back trips, you could even say they are historically known for going deep into the playoffs. How does your team stay hungry and just try to focus on another run here?
I think the big thing we always share with our guys is, hey, right now there are 32 teams left in this classification still playing football. Our only thought right now is in 2 weeks, we want to be one of 16 teams that's playing. And then we'll worry about what the next step looks like after that. So right now, if we can just have tunnel vision on what we're trying to do to prepare for North Forsyth, that's going to give us the best chance to go deep.
All right, thank you, Coach. And now questions for the players. Undefeated regular season, how does it feel to finish 10-0 heading into the playoffs?
It felt good. I feel like we're going to have a good run in the playoffs. We got a good team and just got good chemistry.
What's been the team's mindset throughout the season with the target always on your back?
Just to just keep going and just keep putting in the work and just keep striving every day, just putting in the hard work and just not letting stuff slip up and stuff.
Yeah, Carrollton, y'all are known for playing fast, physical, confident. How do you guys bring that identity to your life on the field?
Just the hard work we put in, knowing like that we got something to prove, like that we playing for each other. So like when they come to that stuff, we just want to go out there and just play for each other and play hard.
What is the team mentality going into the playoffs here?
We're not done. Just next game.
Job not finished, right?
Yeah.
Last question for y'all. What would it mean to bring Carrollton its first state championship in nearly 30 years?
It'll feel good because, like, the last championship was won in 98. I feel like we got a chance to win it. So I think it'll be good for the community and for the team.
Well, Coach Masters, Jameer Harris, Chasten Sheffield, thank you for being here tonight. Best of luck as the Carrollton Trojans hopefully go to the state championship and win it all. But that'll start on November 14th as they host the North Forsyth Raiders. Go Trojans, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Go Trojans.
Our next guest is a team that's been one of the biggest stories in West Georgia this season, the Central Lions. Central enters the Class 4A state playoffs with a perfect 10-0 record, marking just the sixth undefeated regular season in school history and the second under head coach Brown. Coach Brown, in only his third season at Central, has built a powerhouse program, holding a remarkable 31-4 record with 3 straight region championships. The Lions have been dominant all season long, posting shutouts against Spalding, Hiram, Mundy's Mill, earning impressive wins on the road against Oxford, Jonesboro, and Griffin. This year's team just captured the program's 6th region title, and they're making their 6th consecutive playoff appearance, looking to bring home the school's 3rd state championship, the first in 38 years. In the opening round, they will be taking on the Tucker Tigers. Thank you guys for being here. We'll start off with the coaches. Another incredible season, 10-0, 3rd straight region championship. What's been the key to this program's rise over the past few years?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
To be honest with you, I think it's more of longevity in how we preach to our standard each and every week. You know, we have a set standard every single day that we preach to the kids, and we live by that standard each and every day. And I think that's been one of the biggest keys this past 3 years for us and our success. And these kids have done a tremendous job on every single day, being accountable to what we want them to be and what we want them to have.
Yeah, I totally agree with what Coach said, and also it's just buying into the 1-0 standard. So every week we go in and work hard. These kids, we hold these leadership councils and captains to a high standard. Don't miss practice, don't miss workouts, and just showing up every day and working hard.
You've gone on the road, you've beaten some tough teams, Oxford in week 2, Jonesboro in the first region championship, Griffin in the legitimate region championship. How have those battles helped y'all prepare for playoff football?
I hate to sound cliche, but it's just hard work and just locking in. Our guys do a great job of locking in each week, especially for the region championship, and you can tell by the scoreboard.
This group's been dominant on both sides of the ball. What has impressed you most about how your players have performed week to week?
I think for me, it's I'm really impressed with these kids. These kids have done a tremendous job, and each and every week, they just answering the call every single week and taking it day by day. I think that's our biggest message throughout this whole season, is do little by little. Coach Brown always preaches, be where your feet are. We have this acronym, WIN. What's important now? Winning every moment in practice, each rep, each conditioning rep, each team rep. These kids do a great job. Even when we go live, when we go best on best, these kids love to compete. And, the moment's not too big for them. And they've done a tremendous job this year and battling every single week and playing to the standard that they hold. Just not the standard that we hold to them, but they have their own standard as well they want to live by. And it's just a great job that they do each and every week.
Well, that kind of ties into the last question for the coaches. How are y'all keeping the team focused and grounded as the expectations grow?
Every week we just create new challenges for the players and keep them motivated. And that helps them also stay motivated and locked in to the new team we play each week.
We have this bit, what's important now? Being where your feet are, and these kids do a tremendous job with that.
All right, thank you, coaches. I'll move on to the players now. 10-0, how does it feel to be a part of a perfect regular season and make history for the Central Lions?
First of all, it's just an honor. Most people don't go 10-0, and so just us having that relentless effort in the weight room and on the field, it just keeping our feet where we are, and it just plays a special part. And as this team, and just staying together with each other, with each teammate throughout the season, and so that's what my thing is about us going 10-0 and getting that region championship. So.
What's been the team's mindset all year to stay focused and consistent through every game?
I think going back, like what the coaches said, that 1-0 thing we talked about, like what's important now, the WIN acronym. So staying where our feet is at.
We've had dominant wins all season long. What's the secret behind this team's chemistry and energy?
I say it just plays a big part in the leadership. Especially like me and Avery, like we have a big role to the team, and just especially with younger guys on our team, they see us and like what we do, and just setting the example, and then go on a day-to-day basis on the standard that Coach Brown has talked about, has played a key role, and that's what has kept us rolling and kept us hot, on a 10-0 hot streak. So just leadership and just staying focused and don't lose control, and just focus on the what's each week, and keep going 1-0, and just not focus on any external distraction.
You faced tough competition all year long. How confident are you guys heading into the playoffs?
I think really practicing with each other. Like we have a good offense, good defense, so that practice helps for the playoffs. Just practicing with each other. So I think we're really good heading to the playoffs. I think we'll be fine. with the competition we face. We play a lot of tough teams in the playoffs, even week 1 with Tucker, so I think I'm ready for it.
Last question for you guys. This team's chasing its first state title in nearly 40 years. What would it mean to bring that trophy back to Central?
I think it meant a lot, Coach Brown, he came in here 3 years ago. He brought a whole new mentality to the team, and I think his impact would make it special for the whole city. A good coach, a good team, for the whole community. They back us up. They travel deep to faraway games, and I think bringing back that trophy will be what the community needs to really set it down and be like Central's actually legit this year.
Yeah, no, I'd also add to that, Coach Brown, ever since he came to Central, it's been really a blessing, and it's been a true blessing. And so to us, well, not only to us, but to our community, because he's more than a coach. He's more of like our father, and he's just a father figure in our team. And for him to come in 3 years ago and just set a tone by starting off 10-0 high, and then contribute to not only the players but the community as well. And so for us to bring back a state championship, it will mean a lot to us.
Well, coaches Avery Tanner, J.R. Harris, thank you guys for being here. Obviously, best of luck to the Central Lions. Starting off the playoffs November 14th against the Tucker Tigers at home. Again, go Lions, and thank you guys for being here.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Our next guests are one of the biggest turnaround stories in West Georgia, maybe all of high school football in the state of Georgia, the Harrelson County Rebels. The Rebels head into the Class 1A Division I playoffs with a 7-3 record, marking their first playoff appearance in 4 years after a tremendous bounce-back season. Under second-year head coach Randy Crutchfield, Harrelson County has completely changed the culture, going from 1-9 last season to 7 wins this fall. Coach Crutchfield now holds an 8-12 overall record and has his Rebels believing again. This team has been resilient all year, earning statement wins over Pike County, Darlington, Temple, Bremen, and proving they can battle with some of the best in the region. The Rebels finished third in their region and are looking to make some noise in the postseason as they chase the first state championship in school history. In the first round, they will face the Social Circle Redskins, the first ever meeting between the two schools. Thank you guys for being here. We'll start off with some questions for the coaches. What a turnaround. 1-9 a year ago to now 7-3 and back in the playoffs. What's been the biggest factor in this program's resurgence?
Really just the kids, their buy-in and their wanting to give the community something to be proud of. The kids have been unbelievable from the start of summer workouts in June all the way up until now. They've been committed the whole way, and it's just it's a payoff for them to see the fruits of their labor.
Yeah, I would just double down on that and say, we just try to create an identity for our guys. Last year we really didn't know what we were good at and what we liked and what was us. And going into this offseason, we just wanted to create an identity so that when things are going well or when things aren't going well, like we know who we are and we know what we do well, and just we lean on those things, and they reflect our guys and our attitude.
And obviously just the second year of Coach Crutchfield, he's changed the tone, he's changed the direction of this team. What was the message to the players coming into this season?
Our main message was just kind of what Coach Cash said, is establishing our identity, knowing what we're good at, and executing that at a high level. We're not going to try to be somebody that we're not. We're going to go in, play our brand of football, and not conform to anybody else.
I think, you see 1-9 and you think that everything was bad and terrible, but I think we did a lot of really good stuff last year. And I think Coach Crutchfield brought a lot of great ideas and, did some stuff scheme-wise and just some stuff, identity-wise for our program that, we just tried to take the good and build on it, and the things that didn't work, we threw those away and, tried to come up with some other things that we thought would work better for us. And, I think it's just been a great marriage between the kids, our staff, and coach. And everybody believes in him and his vision, and, we've just kind of rallied behind him. And, he's been a great leader for our football team and our entire community.
You've had several impressive wins, including shutouts against Pike County and Darlington. What stands out to you about your team's toughness?
It doesn't matter what the score is. They're going to refuse to quit, and that started all the way back in the summer. We were putting them just through the ringer in the weight room and out on the field. We did not give them the option to quit, and that's shown in our games this year. Going back to the model game, we were down 10 at half. We came in and we said, hey, this is not who we are. We need to go back out there and play our brand of football, and the kids did not quit. We came back in that game and completely revitalized in the second half, and we were just resurgent, and it's apparent throughout all of our results this year that it started way back in the summer, and that was the mentality that we're going to bring into the season.
I would just say that we talk all the time how we want to break other teams and lean on them and take their wheel, and the crazy thing is that even after a tough week we have to line back up and do the same exact thing that we did to the team before the next team. And our guys they show up to work and they're ready to do whatever we ask of them, and sometimes it's running power 25 times in a row, and sometimes it's throwing the football, but whatever it takes to get our guys victory. I think once again we talk about last year 1-9, like coming into this offseason, it was whatever it takes to win, whatever it takes to get us where we want to be. Our guys have been willing to do it.
Last question for you, Coach, is what would it mean to you personally and also to the community to see this program take another step forward here in the playoffs?
It would be awesome. Whenever I came to Carrollton County, it's my first year full-time on staff, I noticed just right off the bat how much of a tight-knit community that Tallapoosa and Buchanan that they are. They all rally behind the football team, behind all athletics, really. But I was even impressed the first game, seeing how many people were there, and not just parents, but just lifelong fans, alumni, everything. The community is so tight-knit, and they want to see everything good happen for this program, and the kids want to give them that. It would mean the world to me, even just being my first year here, having no relations with Carrollton County before this. I'm not from the West Georgia area, but as soon as I came up here, I was like, I love how tight-knit and how close and how much these fans, how much these parents rally behind these kids. And, it's awesome. It's really something that I feel like the kids can take for granted if they've never known anything different. But it's a very special place.
Yeah, I don't know what the significance of one playoff win is, but I think our guys, just want one more week together. We got a ton of guys who, they may be going out to the workforce or college or, whatever, line of work they're going into. We don't have a ton of college football players. These guys just want one more week to be able to play the sport and be around each other because, when the clock strikes zero and we don't have as many points as the other team does, this thing's over for a lot of guys. And, like I said, we just want one more week together.
So now I'll have some questions for you players. How does it feel to be part of a team that's completely turned things around and has brought playoff football back to the Tallapoosa area?
I'm just proud of all the guys, proud of the team, proud of our players, because really pretty much the same guys as part of the 1-9 team, the same guys are part of this team. And nothing really changed. Our bodies changed, our mindset changed, but we just wanted to win. We were tired of losing. We've dealt with losing enough, and we just kind of made our mindset that we were going to win this year. And we were going to try to make some change and make it a playoffs and make us run in playoffs.
But what's been different this season, not only just from last year, but the past few years?
Well, even the years I guess our freshman, sophomore year, we lost. And then we come to junior year as my first year playing and some other guys' first year playing. And we lose again. And I guess it was just senior year is our last chance, our last opportunity to finally win. It's we don't got no more left. And we might as well put all we got into it.
I think the biggest change was just our leadership. Once these new our senior year this year, we came in and we wanted to win. We've had 3 straight losing seasons, and we just wanted to change that. And the rest of our guys just kind of bought into that leadership and really played into their roles, and that's what's helped us have good success.
It's just us saying, we believe it. Every week we believe we're the best team, and we believe we can beat anybody. I don't think we fear nobody, and we go in every week thinking we're going to win, and there's nobody can stop us. There's nobody can stop what we do, and that's just the bottom line. We're tougher, we're stronger, we're faster than everybody.
Yeah, just trusting in our identity, trusting in the type of football we play, the tough, gritty, just going in every week, just hitting people in the mouth. I think just believing in that, and we're just going to keep doing what we're doing.
Both of y'all can answer this. What was your favorite win of this season, and what made it special to you?
Probably Bremen, just because it's such a big rivalry and it's such a hopped up game. Everybody just comes out, supports it. It's just a great game.
Bremen's definitely up there for me, but I'd have to go with Model just because it was a hard fight, and going into the half, we haven't been down that much, and nothing really went our way. And then we come out, we shut them out, and then we put up a lot of points. So,
heading into the playoffs, what's the team mentality?
Probably still just brotherhood, what we focused on all season. Everybody staying together and not getting down. When something goes, bad, just everybody staying together.
And then lastly, what's your message to the Rebel Nation as you get ready for round 1?
Be there, hear about it.
All right, well, coaches, players, thank you for being here tonight. Obviously, the Carrollton County Rebels, they will be on November 14th, round one against the Social Circle Redskins. Obviously, go Rebels. I hope y'all do fantastic. I hope y'all dominate them, blow them out. But thank you for being here, and go Rebels.
Thank you for having us.
Up next, we're joined by one of the most consistent and tradition-rich programs in all of Class 1A, Division I, maybe even in all of the whole state, the Heard County Braves. The Braves are headed into the playoffs with a perfect 10-0 record, marking just the third undefeated regular season in school history and the first in 13 years since 2012. Under head coach Shane Lassiter, now in his fifth season as the head coach, Heard County has built on a legacy of toughness and consistency. Coach Lassiter holds a record of 35-22. He's won 2 region championships and continues the program's incredible run of success, this being the 21st straight year that the Braves have made the postseason. Heard County, they've shown dominance all season long. They've picked up statement wins over Bowden, Bremen, Pepperell, Carrollton County, all while outscoring opponents 400 to 137. The Braves just captured their second straight region title, their 9th overall. They now look to bring home their second state championship in school history, the first since 2018. In the opening round, they will face the East Lawrence Falcons, a first-time matchup between those top 2 programs, but welcome in. We'll start off with you, Coach. Congratulations on an incredible 10-0 regular season, of course. And what's been the key to this team's consistency and success from week 1 all the way through week 12?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that we do have a group of consistent kids that have played a lot of football. They're a mature football team that has kind of had to be thrown to the wolves early on whenever they were freshmen and sophomores, and now they're kind of grown up a little bit. So the fact that they've just been a very consistent team that has played a lot of football, and I think that's been the biggest contribution to our success.
This is just the third time in school history, like I mentioned just a second ago, that y'all have gone undefeated. What does that say about this group's focus and discipline?
I think the biggest thing is they've had a mission for a long time, and they had it kind of a couple of games that circled, and they rose to the challenge every single time. And it's a very tough road to go 10-0. It's hard to do that thing, and especially nowadays whenever you have such good football teams along the way. And so for the fact that we've just been very consistent to be able to do that, I think is the biggest thing.
You've had a couple of signature wins, a one-point thriller, obviously, at home against Bowden, some dominant region performances, of course. Which of those stands out to you the most?
I think the Murphy, North Carolina game early on was kind of one of those things where we just knew that we had a really good football team, because that's a traditional state powerhouse, and they beat us last year. And the way that our kids were focused that week, and the way that we were able to play and dominate that football game from the opening whistle to the very end, to me was let me know that this team is a little different. And then, of course, coming from 12 points behind in the fourth quarter to beat Bowden was obviously a really good win, because they're such a great football team. And, everybody knows what they've done, winning 3 straight state championships. And so for our kids to not panic in that situation and just come back from, 12 points down in the fourth quarter to win was, obviously a turning point in the year.
Last question for you, Coach. What would it mean to this team and your community to bring home another state championship to Heard County?
Oh, it would mean everything for our kids, and and that's the thing that we would want it the most for, is just the opportunity that these kids have put themselves in is something that I definitely want for them. I want them to be able to be one of those teams that everybody talks about and everybody recognizes, because I feel like that they deserve that because of the type of kids they are and how much hard work they put into it. And, of course, our community is always fantastic. They always follow us everywhere we go, and they do a great job of supporting us, win or lose. And so any time that you can put your team on a state platform is always a good thing. And so I'm just hoping that we get that opportunity a few weeks from now.
Now I'll have some questions for you, Ethan. How does it feel to be a part of a team that's not only 10-0, but made a little bit of history for the Heard County Braves?
It feels great. Like you said, there's only been 2 other teams to do it, and to do it with this group that's been talked about since we were in 7th and 8th grade, it's just showing how much work we put in and how much we love each other to get it done.
What does toughness mean to you personally and to also the guys in the locker room?
Toughness is not quitting. It's when things are hard to keep going, not when everything's
like in front of us. Like, don't be front runners. When we're down, like when Bowden, we were down by 12, and we just kept going. We had faith, believed in one another, and that we could get the job done. Toughness is going through the rough things and finishing on top.
Which game this season really showed you what this team is made of?
I'd also say the Murphy game. That was really the first game that we put all of it together. Even during Bowden and Bremen and Harrelson, we actually played a rough game. We didn't play our best, but the Murphy game we played very well as a team as a whole. And then this last game, the region championship game, I feel like there were a few mistakes here and there, but that's going to happen. But we played as a whole. We did our job and we got the job done.
The defense has been dominant. The offense, obviously led by you, has been explosive. What's the chemistry like between both sides of the ball on this team?
I know a lot of people just talk about being a brotherhood, but we truly are. We hang out outside of football in school. Like, we go do things with each other. Some people will go down to Atlanta and just eat dinner sometimes. These kids, they mean the world to me, and I just love each one of them.
Heading into the playoffs, what's the mindset kind of in the locker room right now?
To go 1-0, don't take any team, don't take them easy. Like this East Lawrence team is 3-7, but that doesn't mean anything. They're in the playoffs for a reason. There have been a bunch of, one of the teams they beat, it was like a 5-way tie between all the South teams down there. Like, it's whoever shows up on any given day will win the game.
And last question for you, what's your message to the Braves Nation as you get ready for the playoffs?
Buckle up.
Well, head coach Shane Lassiter, quarterback Ethan Tisdale, thank you guys for being here tonight. The Hurt County Braves are going to be kicking off the playoffs on Friday, I think it's November 14th, against the East Lawrence Falcons. I believe y'all will be at home. Congratulations on becoming the 1 seed. I mean, that's one accomplishment. I know everyone's going to be power rankings next year, but congratulations on that. But go Braves, and thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for inviting us, and we're glad to be a part of it.
Sir.
All right, up next, we're talking about one of the biggest turnaround stories in the West Georgia area this season, the Mount Zion Eagles. Unfortunately, they were not able to be here tonight with us, but they entered the state playoffs with a 7-3 record, marking the first winning regular season in 4 years for the program under head coach Brad Gordon, who's now in his 9th season leading the Eagles. They've steadily rebuilt momentum, and they're back in the postseason for the 5th time in the last 6 years. Coach Gordon, he's compiled a career record of 54-45 and led the Eagles to a region championship a couple years ago, back in 2018. His team came out strong early. They opened the year with 5 straight wins, including dominant victories over Chattahoochee County, Ranburne, and Chattooga, outscoring opponents 187-19 in that stretch. The Eagles finished 2nd in their region and have been battle-tested heading into November. Now they're looking to make a statement in the postseason as they chase their first state championship in school history. In the first round, they'll face Trutland, another team that's improved dramatically this year. It'll be the first ever meeting between the two programs. But for the Mount Zion Eagles, of course, they're going for a state championship here, but they got to prove they got to win the big one. They lost to Bowden in the region championship, ended up losing to Manchester 2 weeks later, and that's the last time they've played was that Manchester game 2 weeks ago, and so they'll have an extra week more than other teams will have. But for Mount Zion, obviously, you're going for a state championship here, something that's never been done. Actually, under head coach Brad Gordon, I believe, his first season there, they went to the semifinals. It's the farthest they've ever been. So Mount Zion, they are trying to do that. If they were to make the state championship, most likely would be against their region rivals, the Bowden Red Devils, because they're on opposite sides of the bracket. And I don't want to get I feel like I'm getting a little ahead of myself there, talking about Mount Zion and saying that they're going to make the state championship. Obviously, they got to get past Trutland first, and we'll see how that goes. But for Mount Zion, again, another team, they went 3-7 last year, now 7-3 again, 5 straight wins early on in the season, dominated. Hit a little bit of a rough patch towards the end of the season there, playing Bowden and Manchester, like I mentioned. But for the Mount Zion Eagles, really, for this one, you got to congratulate them, really. That's the first part. And then the second part, they just got to go out there and they got to find a way to do what they were doing the first half of the season and emulate that, channel that in the first round of this playoffs. And then when they're done with that, I feel like they can be successful. But Trutland is what they're looking forward to now, and it's like every team talks about, go 1-0 every week, and that's what the Mount Zion Eagles are going to be hoping to do on Friday, November the 14th. So if you're a Mount Zion Eagles fan, if you are part of that community, part of that school, go out and cheer them on Friday, November 14th, as the Mount Zion Eagles will host the Troutland Vikings. But go Eagles, and we hope y'all do great in the playoffs. Up next, we've got the Temple Tigers, a program that has continued to raise its standard under head coach Corey Nix. Temple comes into the Class 1A Division I state playoffs with a 5-5 record, marking their fourth straight postseason appearance, a clear sign of how far this program has come in recent years. Just last year, the Tigers had their best season in school history, finishing 9-3 and advancing to the second round of the playoffs. This year, despite some bumps in a very tough region that includes powerhouses like Hurt County and Pepperell, Temple once again earned their spot in November football. The Tigers opened the season on fire, winning their first 4 games and putting up huge offensive numbers, scoring 200 points during that stretch, including blowout wins over McNair, Clarkston, Tryon, and South Atlanta. Head coach Corey Nix, now in his 4th season at Temple, has built a steady foundation for this program with a 23-21 career record and a culture that emphasizes grit, toughness, and belief. Temple will hit the road in the first round to take on Toombs County, the defending Class 1A Division I state champions, who come in at 9-1 and ranked number 2 in the state. It'll be the first ever meeting between these two schools, and the Tigers are looking to play spoiler and make some noise in the postseason. Guys, thank you for coming in. Coach, I'll ask you some questions first. Congratulations on another playoff appearance, 4 straight years in the postseason. What does that consistency mean for the Temple program?
I think for the most part, just being at a place historically that has struggled to have continued success, it means a lot to the people, like our defensive line coach, Coach Armstrong. He played on the first team at Temple, and, you can see the excitement in his eyes and his friends' eyes when he brings them around the program, just that they've seen that success because they're hometown guys, and it means something to them, and I know personally for me, that's something I really try to preach to our kids, is that you got to take pride in it, and that's a point of pride, man, that nobody's been able to do that before, and that we're doing it right now. So it's huge when it comes to community involvement and people caring and believing in the program.
You guys came out red hot to start the year. You won your first 4 games. You dominated. What clicked early for this group?
I think for the most part, it was just the excitement and the readiness to have another season. We talk about it all the time in the coach's office. Football's a grind, and you don't realize that until you're in it. But you hit week 5, 6, 7, 8, and you've been rolling. Practice 4 days a week, game on the 5th. We got a coaches meeting on Sundays, and I think people just underestimate the amount of grind that it really is. And that's something that we really try to get back to with our kids, is that, you got to be excited, man. You got to love what we're doing. And, whether it's week 1 or it's week 9, like we're playing what we all believe is the greatest game God ever made, And so you just got to keep that excitement rolling, that, every day you got a new day to play a game that you love. So
you faced one of the toughest regions in maybe all of 1A. How has that level of competition helped prepare you for playoff football?
Man, I was thinking about it earlier because I really figured I was going to be asked something like that. And, what we did, man, we played a tough region this year. And something that we preach to our kids all the time is something that everybody else in our region preaches to their kids. And it's important when you're looking to make a playoff run is, discipline and toughness. Like, it's got to be, sometimes we look at discipline and you think discipline is just, not jumping off sides on 3rd down, not grabbing that dude when you can't get him and you got to hold him, Discipline is just about being able to break the huddle the right way every play, about doing your assignment every single play, trusting your buddy to do his, not trying to do more than you're supposed to handle, just doing your job. And I think that the region that we played in, every team does a really, really good job of that. So we've seen that. We know that that's what we're going to get out of Toombs. And we're, for the next 2 weeks, we're going to keep preaching what we've preached since April, that we got to be disciplined, we got to be tough, and we got to go get it.
Yeah, Toombs County, they're a powerhouse. Obviously, the defending state champions are 9-1, one of the top-ranked teams, not only in 1A but the entire state. Do you approach this matchup any differently than any other team you faced?
Ryan just shook his head. Our offensive coordinator, he always says we're just going to do what we do. There's, what we do on the offensive side, on the defensive side, on special teams. We're not trying to hide it from anybody. Like, we're going to be who we are. And again, we're just going to keep preaching discipline, toughness. being a man and bowing up when it counts. That's what we preach, and that's what we're going to keep preaching.
And last question for you, Coach. What would it mean to you and this community to take that next step and make a deep playoff run?
For me, I grew up in a place that was very much like Temple's football program, that, we didn't have this history of success. And so I really identify with what Temple goes through and how people view the program and how the people within the program view the program. That I've seen it happen in my own life, that something as silly as a football team making a deep run like that changes the community. It changes the people in the community. It changes the kids in the elementary schools and the middle schools. Like, I don't think it can be stated enough how important and how big and how special that could be if we did. And it comes down to, it's a buzzword, but it's a culture thing. Like, you can see the mindset shift from people when they see you doing what you do and you're successful at it, and I think it could be really, really special for this community and the people in it who believed in it for so long.
Thank you, Coach. I'm going to move on to Ryan now. First question, Ryan, what's it like to be part of a program that has made the playoffs for 4 straight years, something that's never been done at Temple?
I think it's just a great accomplishment for us. Me being a 4-year player, I think it's a testament to how well our team has continued to mesh over the years, and how well when we play together, like we can't be stopped. So to get to the playoffs for 4 straight years, it's an accomplishment, but we're not satisfied with just getting to the playoffs. Like, we want more.
You guys started the season 4-0. What was the energy like around the team during that run?
Oh, it was electric. We had a great time. What I think in those first 4 weeks, we really we took it to the next level, and every week we continued to get better and to mesh with our teammates, because some guys are starting for the first time this year, and some guys, they've been playing for all 4 years. It's different for everybody, but once you get on the same page and you really start to click, it's special.
How do you guys live out toughness and belief in yourselves on the field?
I'm going to give you a quote from the great Evan Hostetler. It's not that dang hard. We just go on the field and we give it 100%. That's all they want, and that's all we want. We just want to be our best, no matter if we lose or win. Obviously, we want to win, but if we're giving 100%, Hotch and the other coaches are not going to explode at us. They're not going to get mad. They're gonna critique our mistakes. They're gonna make us better, but they're not gonna blow up at us if we're giving 100%. And that's just how you give. That's just what's got to happen.
What's one game or moment this season that really showed you what this team is made of?
At Tryon, we fumbled the ball on our 5-yard line, and they picked it up. They went down and scored, and we came back out on offense, and we led a 90-something yard drive. And that just showed me that team was different. This team is different because in years past, when we had fumbled that ball and they scored, we would have laid down and they would have won that game in years past. But this year it was different because I felt it, that we had a chance to be something great at that point.
Could I add on to that? Can I just throw quick? This past Friday night, outcome didn't end up like we wanted it to, but we go down there, we're down 7, we need a touchdown, and we're on the 2. Ryan comes out, he gets rolled up on, and he kind of disappears back behind all of us, and we're all, trying to think, what do we need to run? What do we need to run? What do we need to run? And next thing you know, Ryan comes busting through the whole line of JV kids that are walling him off. Coach, I got to get back in. I got to finish this. I got to get back in. So that's a story about the guy sitting right next to me about, testimony of toughness.
How do you keep your focus heading into a tough road game against the defending state champions?
You just got to have a clear line of sight. They bleed just like we bleed. It's no different. It's no different than playing her, which is a very tough team. They're number 1 in the bracket. Toombs is going to be tough, but we played tough people all year.
Last question for you. What's your message to the Temple fans and the Temple community as you head into the postseason?
Just show up. Show up, support. Whether you think we're going to win or lose, whether you think we're good or not, just be there for the community, be there for the team, be there for the coaches, be there for the players. I mean, just show up.
Well, guys, thank you for being here tonight. Best of luck to the Temple Tigers as they start their playoff journey, hopefully a long, successful state championship playoff journey here on November 14th on the road against Toombs County. Again, go Tigers, and thank you guys for being here.
Thank you guys. We appreciate it.
And now we're closing out things with the Villa Rica Wildcats, a proud program that continues to battle in one of Georgia's toughest 5A regions. The Wildcats enter the Class 5A state playoffs with a 5-5 record, marking the second straight season they've hit that mark, and the second consecutive year they've earned a trip to the postseason under head coach Austin Barrett. Villa Rica faced a gauntlet of a schedule this fall in non-region play, opening with tough losses to Troup County, Northgate, Central, three programs all ranked inside the top 10 of their classifications respectively. But the Wildcats rebounded in a big way. They went on a 3-game winning streak in the middle of the season, decisive wins over Alexander, South Paulding, and Lithia Springs. The team showed tremendous resilience down the stretch, ending the regular season with back-to-back wins over Kennesaw Mountain and then East Paulding. The latter of those, a thrilling 17-14 victory that secured Villa Rica's third-place finish in the region. Head coach Austin Barron, now in his third season leading the program, holds a 14-17 record and has helped the Wildcats reestablish a physical, disciplined identity on both sides of the ball. Villa Rica is chasing its second state championship in school history, the last coming 39 years ago, and they'll look to make history again when they take on Northgate in the first round. These two teams are no strangers. This will be the 11th meeting between Villa Rica and Northgate, with the Wildcats holding a 6-4 lead all time. Northgate comes in at 8-2, finished second in their region and ranked number 16 in 5A. The two teams already met back in week 2, Northgate edging out a 12-9 victory. So Villa Rica will be looking for a little payback in this rematch. And guys, thank you for being here. We'll start off with you, Coach. Congratulations on another playoff berth, second year in a row for this group. How proud are you of your team's consistency and effort this season?
The first thing that comes to mind is resiliency. I think it would have been really easy for these kids to quit and to focus on themselves whenever they were 0-3. Whenever they were down 2 scores last Thursday night. And so I think that's just a testament to the brotherhood that they have, the love that they have for one another, and the trust that they have in the program and the culture that we've built. Those things don't happen by accident. So, it's just been really good to see those things come to light, because you can talk about culture all you want to. You can throw hashtags on the back of a T-shirt. However, real culture is standing the testament through adversity like these kids have. And so it's just been great to see them battle through adversity and come out the other side victorious.
You guys faced a brutal schedule early on. Again, Troup County, Northgate, Central, all elite programs. What did those early battles teach you about your team?
Well, you got to find your identity early on. I think a lot of coaches go a lot of different ways with scheduling non-region games. I want to know where we stand really quick. I want to know how our kids are going to handle adversity. And that changes year to year based upon the team. But I was had a high expectation for our culture that they were going to be able to handle some tough games early on, and that we're going to be better because of it, and we were going to respond the right way. It's a little bit of a gamble, but our kids handled it the right way, and I was proud of them for it.
Mid-season, your guys went on a big run, 3 straight wins. What do you think changed during that stretch?
It's simply our execution. I think at the end of the day, that's what's going to win and lose football games for us. And every Friday night, you just can't beat yourself. So, our execution and making other football teams beat us. And then on the other end, too, our coaches figuring out our kids figuring out our coaches, and then getting guys in the right place. Sometimes that can take a little bit of time to figure out what this team does well. And so, I think that was just part of the process that we had to go through.
You're facing Northgate again, a team that beat you 12-9 early in the season. What adjustments or improvements do you think could make the difference this time around?
I think any given Friday night, you got to be willing to take care of the football and focus on the fundamentals. Whether it's a rematch, a first round playoff or game 1 of the football season. The same things that win football games will always win football games. And for us, we always want to play a physical football game. We always want to have unmatched effort. And so we take care of those two things, take care of the football, and then just eliminate the big plays. And at the end of the day, when you talk about playoff football, there's so many momentum swings through a game, and you got to be able to handle them. And I think at the end of the day, being able to handle those momentum swings will be a crucial role in coming out victorious next Friday night.
And last question for you, Coach. Villa Rica, a rich football history, but it's been almost 4 decades since the state title. How special would it be to you to bring that kind of success back to this community?
Well, success it's measured in a lot of different ways. For us, the main thing is making sure are we pursuing excellence? Are we taking steps forward? And these guys have already done that, and I'm super proud of them for it. I think they're still hungry, and that matters this time of the year. But at the end of the day, just finding a way we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We want to make sure we win this football game. And I think it's easy for every one of the 32 teams that's left to all think about that final game. And sometimes this first game can slip up on you. So we gotta find a way to take care of business this week.
Thank you, Coach. And now I'll move on to the players. Any of you can answer this one. Back-to-back playoff appearances. How does it feel to help keep this program trending upward?
Just being there on the field, it's like nothing that – it's like everything feels like that weight on your shoulder, so it's just like trying to push forward and gain momentum in any way possible.
You guys battled through one of the toughest schedules, maybe in all of 5A. How did those early challenges prepare you for the playoffs?
I think that a lot of the early challenges just helped us to grow closer with each other. And so we went to practice, so we came back and worked harder with each other. We pushed harder with each other. And going from that helped us build into the region games and prepared us for all of those.
The win over East Paulding to close out the season, a huge win for y'all. What was the atmosphere like that game, knowing that you had punched your ticket as a 3 seed in the playoffs?
Definitely crucial there. It's like going into that game, you never know what'll happen when you walk on that field, but just putting it out first and asking for that win that night just put everything together for us.
I think it was also a very emotional atmosphere, going from each person knowing how bad we all want it, how bad we want to keep fighting and keep pushing. I believe that it's really important to all of us just because of the weight of all of our wants, all of our needs.
What is the team's mindset going into this rematch, especially after that close game back in week 2?
I think the mindset is a lot better than it was the week we played Northgate. I think we've grown a lot closer than others, and I think we've really worked a lot harder and just continue to focus on each week until this moment.
Never want to place your primary focus on anybody. Just trying to come out with that win at the end of the game and just everything that you can ask for at that point.
How do you and your teammates live out toughness and also execute every week?
Just coming out, having a strong and great practice each and every week to just prepare through our Friday.
And last question for you. What's your message to the Villa Rica Wildcat Nation as you head into the playoffs? What can fans expect from this team 2 Fridays from now?
Really, I won't give you a primary expectation, but I just want to know that every kid out there is putting in the best effort that they can to try to punch in the ticket to play that next game. Really, all you can do is just put 110% into, but you never know what to expect. Really, it's like you said, a lot of momentum shifts in the game. So really, just staying poised and staying maintaining your level of kind of like just staying calm is really all you can ask for, and just expect the best from us.
Well, guys, thank you for being here. Best of luck as y'all head into the playoffs. Friday, November 14th, first round on the road, I believe, against Northgate. So, again, congratulations on making the playoffs. Go Wildcats, and thank you guys for being here.
Thank you. Go Cats.
All right, Mason, it's been a great night being able to interview coaches and players, get to know them in a way that's a little bit more personal. They get to be a voice and representation of their schools. What do you think about it overall so far, what you've heard, and how you feel that these teams going into the first playoffs is going to be?
Well, I definitely feel like this has been a great night, great opportunity, like you just said, for all these teams to come out here. Obviously, we've had some teams that won't. We're not able to come out here, but the teams that we have heard from, players very respectful, very impressed with the professionalism of everyone here tonight. And obviously, some teams have a little bit easier of a path to a state championship than others. Some teams are more capable of winning a state championship than other teams are. But this goes to show you, we've seen so many people in here. Obviously, most of the players and their coaches have sat down together and they've eaten great business from Buffalo Wild Wings as well. So it's been a great community event as well. Just kind of getting everybody out, kind of getting out of the normal groove of everything on a Monday night. I know they got a lot on their shoulders because they are expected to go out there and win on a Friday night a week from now, or whatever the case may be, and they do have a lot riding on their shoulders. So this hopefully can give them a little bit of a chance to just kind of take a breather, get out of the norms, go have fun for a night with your coaches and your teammates, have some good food, and be able to answer some questions very honestly. And also, hopefully some of these questions kind of makes them reflect on not only them as a team, but them as a person as well. And, I think it's a great opportunity for everyone here tonight. Again, for some of those people, I'll just pick on Ethan Tisdale, for instance, has offers from Cincinnati, amongst other D1 schools. I mean, you're going to have to be doing media at some point once you get up that level, especially if you're going to be in a position like he wants to be in as a starter. So this is a very good opportunity for them to kind of get out of social norm. Obviously, you have to do presentations in school, but kind of just go out in public and be able to do an interview and be able to answer questions with kind of everybody watching you, I guess you would say. But again, very, very impressed with every team. And I wish everyone well in the playoffs. Started off with Bowden, ended off with Villa Rica. Long night, but wouldn't trade it for anything else.
Yeah, we're, again, grateful for our awesome community partner and gracious host, Buffalo Wild Wings on South 27 in Carrollton. Y'all come out. If you haven't been here, you're missing out on some good food, great sports, and fans. So come out and support them. And Mason, we'll look forward to this going out on audio for Apple and Spotify, and, of course, video on YouTube. Mason, I just will ask you this, though, before we sign off. Who is it that you're looking forward to most in the first round?
Ooh. Now, I guess I need you to kind of clarify the question, I guess I would say, because, you mean like the matchup or you mean the team? Just
matchup, yes.
Matchup. Well, there's going to be a couple of close ones this week, I feel like. Bremen, obviously, with playing Pepperell again, because of that power ranking system. It's not like usually when you could only play a region opponent in the semifinals or the finals anymore. Now you can play in the first round, maybe even second round. We obviously see Heard County could play Harrelson second round. So that Bremen-Pepperell game, Bremen obviously going to want to get back on Pepperell. Obviously, they're very focused on trying to beat them. You don't want to lose the same team twice. This time it's all on the line. So that game is going to be very intriguing to me because it was only an 11-point game last time. Bremen obviously now has to go on the road. Another one that I think is going to be very good, Mount Zion-Trutland. Mount Zion-Trutland is going to be very interesting. How does Mount Zion do after losing to Bowden, going on a bye week, losing to Manchester, going on another bye week, having another bye week, and then going on to the playoffs? So lots of bye weeks, lots of losing recently for Mount Zion. Can they get back to winning at home against Trutland? They have a great opportunity here for them to move on in the playoffs. And then Temple also is going to have an interesting matchup as well. Oh, and Villa Rica. Temple taking on the reigning state champion Toombs County Bulldogs. Very tough test on the road for them. Obviously, I don't think it'll be close in terms of some of these other games, but definitely an important game for them, and we'll see how they respond to Toombs County. But then Villa Rica and Northgate. Again, these two teams played each other in non-region play earlier. It was only a 3-point game. This time, Villa Rica's having to go to Northgate. We'll see how they do. But lots of close first-round matchups, I suspect. But I'm ready to get there, to be honest with you.
Well, again, we're proud of all these teams. We're glad to be a part of this. We're so gracious for them to come out and support this, and for the community that showed up in great numbers tonight. Pretty good. And so we look forward to it. I say get your tickets now, get them early, get your crew, and go and fill those stadiums for the first round. And as we always say, Mason, there is nothing like Football Fridays in West Georgia. And with that, we'll see you next time.